Hello everyone, Warren here again with the Peach State Prime channel. Just wanted to pop in with a quick video. You've probably noticed I'm a little off of my normal upload schedule. And that's because I've just taken a brief break here. We just had Mother's Day this past weekend. And currently in the process of getting ready to go camping this coming weekend. So still more videos coming. Have trips planned over the course of this month, June and July, and of course be going places beyond that. And just thought I'd give everybody just a quick channel update. First off, like I said, more videos are on the way. I've looked at and seen what's popular on the channel, and really it looks like, everything's performing very well with a few exceptions. And, people like seeing the attractions out there. Some of the food videos that have done decently. So I'm going to continue down that route. Not just filming stuff just to film it. Really want to put some good content out there that, might help people or at least entertain people out there. With that being said, expect more from the Smokies. As I've said in previous videos, we do have gold passes to Dollywood this year. And so we'll be popping in from time to time. And my goal with that is to really show Dollywood at different times a year and really feature different things each time. So not the same video over and over. So, taking a look at the different festivals, maybe different attractions, different shows, and heck, even different food. And, so that's kind of the goal there. And of course, whenever we pop in the Smokies, maybe featuring a different, attraction or gift shop to kind of, again, break up and feature something new from time to time. When I go camping with the Scouts, which, again, I do have some trips coming up, probably going to do it similar to how I did the Lake Lanier video. Not really featuring the Scouts, but featuring, where we're camping, so people can get an idea what it's like in that general area or specific location, like if it's a state park or something, rather than just a Scout camp. And then, of course, any activities we're doing in the area that seem interesting to show off, like if we're going to a local attraction, which we are this coming weekend, and I'll save that reveal for that video. But, I will feature that. So again, lots coming. Do have some family trips coming up outside of the Smokies, which will be a nice change of pace. So I have those videos coming, and of course, anything in my general area, the Atlanta area that, seems interesting or fun. I know there's some things that, may seem like no-brainers for me to go to, and I'd love to go to everything. But, again, I'm doing all this kind of on a budget, still looking for a more permanent job, or a job, put it that way. And then, of course, just time and it has to be something my family wants to do as well. So, every festival, every event, convention that happens, can't make them all, but I'm doing my best to hit, some of the ones that interest me/us, and we'll, of course, cover those. So stay tuned, and of course, subscribe so you know when those videos come up. So with that being said, it may not be every other day that I put up a video, but I am going to try my best to do so, throughout the summer. And of course, school is wrapping up, so that's another thing kind of taking our time away. I have kids transitioning from elementary to middle school, and then middle to high school. So lots of end of year, end of experience celebrations going on. As I said, this past weekend was Mother's Day. So happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers that are watching this video. Had a pretty good weekend celebrating, both with my mom, my mother-in-law, and of course my wife Erin, who is of course the mother of my 2 children. Um, so on Saturday, a Mother's Day weekend, we went and had a cookout over at my mother-in-law's house, which was nice. And then with my mom, later on that afternoon, we went and saw that movie. It's a new release. It's called The Sheep Detectives. And so it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Actually, we all did. It's a murder mystery, but not really dark at all. It's family friendly, and I think it was only PG. But it's, if you're not familiar with it, it's about a group of sheep. It's live action, whose beloved shepherd ends up being murdered, and they work to solve the mystery of who did it. And of course, they do it successfully. No spoilers really there. It's the type of movie they're going to figure it out. But the reason they want to do this is because their shepherd would always read them murder mystery novels, so it inspired them. And so that was a fun movie. And then we went and ate at Carrabba's, which is a chain restaurant, an Italian restaurant, and that worked out really well. And shout out to those employees and staff there. They worked their tails off that night, and it was packed. The parking lot was full. I had to park in another lot of another business that was closed at the time to even go over there. But they did a great job. And then to celebrate Erin, the next day we what we did, kind of our normal, went to church, and of course had lunch and dinner out. And had a great day. We also walked around the park. We walked around Dupree Park, which ironically was the last video where I did a channel update. So you can find that here on the channel. And gave her gifts, which she very much appreciated and deserved. So had a really nice day celebrating her. One thing I am going to rant about a little bit here is there were 2 places we stopped with Erin on Sunday, on Mother's Day. One of them was Culver's. If you're familiar with Culver's, it's I believe it's a Wisconsin-based fast food restaurant. But they kind of take things to another level with their burgers, and they have cheese curds. And then they have frozen custard with all sorts of mix-ins and flavors. We actually stopped there, not for lunch, but in between lunch and dinner, just for a treat. We all had some custard. And then for dinner, we ate at a local Mexican restaurant, which was good. And again, the staff did a great job. My problem, or my rant, is that at both of those places, Culver's and the Mexican restaurant, there were just these groups of obnoxious people, men, young men, probably in their 20s or 30s, that just, you have all sorts of families in both these locations. They were both packed with, you had families with kids, some adults with their elderly parents, mother, daughter, adult daughter, senior mother. Just a really family, kind of a positive atmosphere, celebrating their mothers. And in both these instances, these guys are just loud, obnoxious, and above all, swearing, dropping the F word and everything. And again, I know it happens. I know people like to cut up and have fun with their friends, but, there's a certain amount of respect that's expected when you're in public, and of course will be returned to you in public, hopefully. I'm not going to go on a huge rant about swearing in general, but, it just, read the room. With the crowd you're around, do people really want to hear that? I did not say anything. At Culver's, we just got up and moved to another table. Thankfully, we were able to do that. And at the Mexican restaurant, shortly after, the loud unpleasantness occurred, that party departed the restaurant. And I don't know if they were arguing or what, actually, because they actually went and to the hostess and tried to pay their bill there versus waiting for the waitress. So, you know, again, I understand you want to have fun, you want to say what you want to say, but just be aware there's other people who don't want to hear it all the time, especially when you're there trying to enjoy each other's company on a holiday nonetheless. Um, so I just ask everyone out there, please be mindful of your surroundings. Um, Not everybody's children are, you know, they're not accustomed. It's not that they're going to be harmed by the words necessarily, but it's something that I don't want my kids having to hear. And I personally, even if I was by myself or just with my wife, we don't want to hear it either. Again, we just want to be in peace. I mean, even if there wasn't swearing and there was this loud, obnoxious behavior, we don't like that either. So, again, you know, and I find it ironic that this occurred on Mother's Day, twice on Mother's Day, when that's a day where you're supposed to be celebrating your mother, somebody who should have raised you not to do that. So I don't get it. But again, just I just ask everybody out there, be mindful of your surroundings. And you know, it goes both ways. You know, I controlled my kids as they were getting older, and now I don't let them fight. You know, there's always, you know, kids, brothers and sisters, siblings, they get in disagreements or they get loud or rambunctious, and we control them. So you should be able to control yourself as well. Because I'm sure I'd be getting complaints if I didn't. But anyways, that's the end of the rant. Just something I just felt I needed to say that's been on my mind ever since. It's Wednesday now, and that was on Sunday. And again, I'm not looking for, you know, it to be Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but just, again, read the room, know where you are. So anyways, like I said, I have a lot coming up. So, you know, stay tuned to the channel. Again, subscribe so you know when the latest videos are coming up. Have some really fun stuff coming up. I'm not ready to announce quite yet, other than you will see some more Dollywood and, you know, in different lights. And more beyond that, you know, both locally and in other states. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this just quick little update, but of course, you know, feel free to give it a like here on YouTube. Helps my channel out. Sorry. And of course, subscribe to the channel, as I've said already, so you know when things are coming up and new videos are released. And leave a comment. You know, what did you do for Mother's Day? What are your summer plans? You know, just feel free to share. And if there's anything you really want to see on the channel, you know, share that as well. If you happen to be into Transformers, you know, those converting robot toys in movies and TV shows, I do have a separate channel for that, simply named Peach State Prime Transformers, as I'm a huge fan, as you know from my past videos, and you can check that out there if you're interested. But anyways, I do want to thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.